Alright, welcome back everybody. Hopefully you guys been having a beautiful week so far. Second video of this week. Very special video I decided to make a day. Definitely aimed towards new players. Is a common question is how do I really earn XP? I see a lot of questions as far as like streaming and in like YouTube in general is the concept of XP value. How do I level up my ship girls consistently? What chapters should I farm? Like what should I be going as a new player and everything. So we'll pretty much be going over the chapter basics, like what's farmable in the chapters, which chapters you should aim for XP, understanding the morale system, understanding how flagship works, how the XP in general is calculated, and everything from there. Again, I'll be using the Azur wiki, which I'll be linking in my video down below, so that way you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about and everything like that, and kind of go to it and understand it a little bit more and everything like that as well. Other than that, further ado, let's go ahead and start. So, for starting, as a new player, you have obviously your campaign missions. I'm going to go ahead and give you the drop ships for every one that you should be pretty much looking for and going for. So 3-4, your SR drops are going to be Kaga and Akagi, the two IGN Fox sisters as ships. For right now, honestly, as a new main player, you don't really need to stay in 3-4. If you're going to be staying in 3-4, just to level up your ships, you get toolboxes from it. You can farm 3-2 for Helldivers, stuff like that. 3-2 Helldivers would be good, and probably get your ships to 50-70, and honestly move on, because unless you want to collect it, if you're a collector, then yeah, go ahead and grab Kagi and Kaga. But if you want to make progression, I wouldn't recommend staying in 3-4 too long, because Kagi and Kaga are now kind of outdated as far as ships to use, considering the fact that you can just go get better ships in later chapters that will help you progress further, and then you can just come back later on and go and get ships that would help you beat that chapter and everything like that. And you're already going to be a higher level, so it's going to be a lot easier for you, and 3-4's XP isn't that great anyways. Your next level after 3-4 would be 6-4, which will be for you Dachi, little fox girl destroyer, aka Poi is what we call her. So Dachi will be your farmable one for that chapter. Poi right here. She will be your 6-4 farm, and you're pretty much going for her. And then after 8-4 will be your next one after her, which you will be aiming for Maya. And Maya will be your next one that you're going to aim for, who I don't have like leveled up at all, because she's not honestly that great. But Maya will be your 8-4 drop. After that, you have 10-4 for like Gensu, 10-1 for Honolulu, chapter 11 for Columbia, and then chapter 12-4 for chapter 12-2, 12-3 for the Junyu sisters, aircraft carriers, and then 12-4 for Chokai. Now, 12-4 is what a lot of people in their XP guides are going to say that is going to be the best for XP. Chapter 13, I wouldn't really farm for XP, because it's just Bunker Hill is really all you're farming for. And chapter 13 is going to require you to, one, full fleet. You're going to waste a lot more oil and everything like that, and you're going to have to fight more battles and everything like that. You're going to have to deal with different mechanics in chapter 13 and everything, and it's going to be more annoying just to constantly farm XP in chapter 13 than it would be with chapter 12. Now, chapter 12-4 is where a lot of people say that is the good hotspot for XP. The 12-4 is actually kind of changed, because 12-4 requires you to do more battles compared to where you can just farm 12-2. Slap the double XP book now from Operation Siren, and you'll pretty much be getting the same equivalent XP from 12-4 and everything like that, and you're going to get more Commander XP and all that stuff too. So, realistically, 12-2 is kind of the sweet spot for farming. You know, you're going to averagely get around 3,000, 4,000 plus Vanguard XP, and if you're backline MVPs, which your flagship, you're gaining 1.5% more XP as a flagship MVP. They'll gain anywhere from, that ship alone will gain anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 XP in a single run. So on top of that, 12-2 I would say right now is your sweet spot. That's about level 108s for your level. It's a good place to literally just keep constantly farming XP and everything like that. And then when you're farming XP, the main thing that you also want to make sure is that I would recommend with your dorm that you at least have the second slot available, or if you're farming with the ships that you want your ships to be in here as well, getting morale or getting them into the XP. So you can either put them in your first slot dorm, which will give them XP passively. Mine are gaining 82% XP right now as a bonus. So you can fight with them in here, but the issue is that their morale doesn't recover as quickly. Or you can throw them into the second dorm, and then they have pretty much almost infinite morale as long as you don't let them die. If you let them die, their morale will go down faster. Also, if you use the double XP books now from Operation Siren, your morale will get instantly depleted like hardcore. It destroys your morale, but offers a lot more rewards. So if you're trying to like farm ships or anything like that, you can literally go to 3-4, slap an XP book, and get both Kaga and Akagi in one single run. I've seen people do it, that's possible, but it does destroy your morale pretty quickly and everything like that, because how it works and everything like that as well. So that is an option for you as well. Understanding the morale system is how I'm going to break it down now. So ship XP, aka combat XP. Note that all ships can be stored out to 3 million combat XP, and then you can cap them. So how do you unlock your level caps? You get like 70, 80, 90, 100. Once your ship hits 100, they'll start storing XP towards 120. To get into 120, you're going to use a device called cognitive chips right here, and then that will let me break them from 105 to 110 to 115 to 120. Each value is changed depending on what ship you have. So like if you're 120 a blue ship, it's going to be a lot cheaper because they're a blue rarity, versus like doing an elite ship that's going to cost you slightly a little bit more, or doing an SR ship or doing a UR ship, because those are going to cost you twice as much cognitive chips and resources and coins to upgrade into their levels, because they're higher end ships. Especially DRs, aka like Freddy, Azuma, Shinano, they require 20% more combat XP to hit 120 because they're DRs. They're a lot stronger than the other ships, so they're going to require a lot more XP, especially if you're farming for them in your PR. You can see that Freddy and Azuma require more XP than the standard PRs do to unlock them. That's because of their requirements to use as a ship. They also cost more oil too. Freddy at max level costs almost 20 oil to operate. Azuma is like 13, 14 oil around there too. So it costs a lot more oil to operate and everything like that as well. Your morale is a huge thing. So morale is your ship's girls like happiness. Every time they do a battle, it will slightly go down, but if they're in that second dorm, they will increase their morale, gain back by a certain amount of percentage based off how you have your dorm, or if they're married or anything like that as well. Morale, aka ships with the happy face, will earn 20% more bonus XP from everything, but does not apply to hard modes or exercises. So they'll gain 20% more XP from not hard modes or story maps or exercises. It's pretty much just like their dorm XP gain buff too. So you also have with stage XP. Your base XP is the amount for your rank. So depending on what rank you get to, like A, you'll get a certain amount of XP. S, you get 1.2% more XP. Shipgirl's happiness, you'll earn 1.2 times more XP, or 0.5 more XP. If they're sad, you don't really want to be farming when they're red or yellow, because if they're red or yellow, they're going to get half the XP, and they're already mad at you, and if you keep killing them more, you're going to actually decrease your affinity and everything like that on them. So stop farming on them when they're yellow and red, and switch them out to different girls and everything like that. Your flagship earns 1.2 or 1.5% more XP, sorry, and your shipgirl that MVPs earns 2 times more. So you can get a lot of XP based off certain chapters and everything with the multipliers and all that stuff as well. There's also some ship girls that actually give bonus XPs, like Langley. Langley gives you carrier XP towards your backline. Same as Honshu. Amazon gives you bonus for your destroyers. Yabari does cruisers. Nunberg does submarines. So you have a couple of ships that actually give you bonus combat XP towards certain ships in there. So if you want to speed run your stuff, like let's say you want to level up some of your cruisers, like you want to level up Cleveland, or you want to level up Portland, stuff like that, you can, if you have a Yabari, you can throw her into your fleet and they'll gain more XP from her being in there, because she has a skill that increases XP gain and everything from her as well. And then you can use that to level up your ships, same as your carriers. You can throw Langley in there and level up your carriers and everything like that as well. Carriers will do pretty good job, honestly, now getting MVP, just due to the fact that the new concealment um, thing is kind of broken. So in Chapter 12, I mean, they won't really be targeted unless you let anything go past that blue front line of theirs and everything. So they can MVP pretty well, especially if you have a carrier like Essex, who's extremely broken with flooding and burn damage and the amount of damage that she can pop out with her planes. The same as Saratoga and everything like that. They'll MVP extremely easy just because of how good their overall synergy as carriers are. And BBs you can easily carry, can get MVP and everything from there, from your front line. If you're like farming and you really need XP, like let's say you're PR farming and you're trying to farm XP for your PRs, and you're like doing a frontline one, but your backline keeps taking MVP, try doing like Akashi as your backline to like heal them and everything, and not to take MVP, or change your gear out and nerf the gear on your battleships or that person that's back there, so it can stop taking MVP from your main girls that you're trying to level up and everything like that as well. And then on the map, you'll also see if you're going to like start a map, for example. For me, usually I do all my XP farming, as I said, in Chapter 12 too. So I will go here, I'll throw on my boss fleet, and then I'll throw on a mob fleet of ship girls that I want to level. Obviously, yeah, I understand that I can make this a lot smaller, and it's using a lot more oil, but I don't care. So you can go here, you'll see that your nodes will spawn in, and then you'll have like a 2-bar, a 2-bar, and then you'll see 3 and 1s. One is like a 1.1 XP, the other one's like 1.2, and the other one's like a 1.3 or 1.5 XP gain. So the higher the amount of nodes that you want to get with these little triangles, the better XP gain that you'll get from your combat and everything like that as well. So I'll go ahead and swap to my mob fleet here, because you can see I'm leveling up Room Muse, and then Cooper, and then Sheffield is over here for one that. Usually I just try to I'm leveling up Howie as well, so I'll try to level up one main battleship or carrier or healer in here, and then I'll usually put like a healer back here. Obviously Perseus can still MVP because of her 2 preloads, but my Akashi is max XP, and pretty much all my healing ships are max XP right now, so I'm gonna just throw Perseus back here for right now. Also, understanding your formation, this is up to you, but typically how I like to do it when it comes to battle, because a lot of people are asking how do I properly set up fleets and stuff like that as well. I'll pretty much what I like to do, outer leftmost corner is going to take the most damage. So typically you want to have your main tank here. Sheffield will be the main tank right now because she's the highest level. Typically you would have like a CA in this slot, or someone that has high evasion skill or the ability to tank, like Muse Rune or something like that would be in this slot. But for right now my Muse Rune is pretty low, so she's going to be in the middle. The middle is usually you're gonna have like DPS or sub DPS, and then on your right slot you're gonna have another debuffer or an off tank or an off DPS. Cooper's here for balance as far as ASW and stuff like that. I'm also leveling her up. She's really good ASW ship girl. Real Muse is a pretty broken CA carrier that has the ability to slow a ship to 0, everything like that as well. And then this right here, I see a lot of people actually not utilizing this little circle right here. This is your overall ship girl formation. Single line advancement, double line advancement, and circular defense. Circular defense you're not going to really use unless you're in an AP hell, aka or plane hell, aka like chapter 12, chapter 13. You'll swap your circular defense so they would focus on AA and shutting down planes and everything like that. Double line advancement is personally the recommended that I would use, just because it's the more stronger advancement that focuses on overall just balanced performance, and single line is kind of just God's canon. I would never recommend using single line as a player, so I would definitely just make sure that you're always in double line advancement. And then this is for healing if you have like Akashi or Vestal or anything like that. So I'm using a 2 map right now. All these ship girls are oathed as well, so they'll be getting bonuses from their oath and their morale in general as well. So morale and everything, as I said, is very important. You want to make sure that you don't kill your ship girls, because that is going to make them extremely mad at you. They're not going to gain a lot of XP or anything like that as well. Your flagships, everything like that, you want to make sure that you're leveling up what you want to focus on. So chapter 12.2 is pretty good as far as XP. You also get a lot of plates and everything out of it, a decent amount of coins and everything like that. If you need coins or resources, you can farm like 7.2 for coins and resources and everything like that. That'll pretty much you're like stuck. But you can see that literally without the double XP book, each one of my Vanguard ships gained around almost 1.2k XP, which is really solid for overall XP for grinding, because if you keep constantly doing it, the overall course of time, they're going to get a decent amount of XP. You can also use those books, but keep in mind those double XP books destroy your morale, so you want to be aware of that and everything like that. Get a pretty decent amount of Commander XP on 151. 51 XP for Commander XP is pretty solid, and everything like that as well. Also, understanding the basics of this air supremacy and everything like that, we will pretty much explain that right now. With the release of Chapter 13, they released a thing called Air Supremacy or Aerospace Contribution. The Aerospace Contribution is a mechanic in the game based off your aircrafts and total support that they can do based off like your AA and your ability to dish out damage with your aircrafts. You want to aim for air superiority or air supremacy, because anything lower than that, you're going to take a shit ton of damage. You're going to deal more damage, but if you have air parry or like nothing at all, you're going to receive more damage from the actual boss that you're trying to hit instead of everything like that. So necessarily, what I would say primarily is working your way up to get into 12.2 so you can permanently farm your XP for your ships. If you have a map that works better for you for XP farming, I would say farm the highest map that you have available offered to you, and keep farming that until your ship girls can handle more higher maps to get more XP and everything like that as well, and focus on getting your ships and everything like that. As I said, if you want to get your drop ships, you can get your drop ships, but I would not recommend staying in 3.4 or a chapter for so long if you're not getting the drop ship, because it's going to render your progression through the game and you're going to just be losing out on the amount of XP that you can get and equipment that you can get in higher chapters that will help you out longer. And you can always go back and farm the drop ships, so nothing too hard that you can actually do or anything like that as well. Focusing on everything else, you don't have to oath your ships. I just tend to open my ships just because I want to oath every ship in the game on this account and go from there. Your XP you can casually get. Make sure that you're buying your dorm sets like that as well, doing missions, monitoring your ship girls' morale and everything like that. Your morale is very important to play into XP and everything like that, and go from there. So this wanted to be a very short guide on understanding the basics of combat XP, a little bit about the morale system, how it handles into play, understanding the nodes and everything like that, understanding the super little basics of maps to go for and everything like that as well. And I hope this video for you guys did help you. If you do ever have any questions, I will have my link down in the Discord below. You can come contact me in Discord. I'm always down to help new players as well. You can follow me on social media as well. I post practically every single day. And then I also stream on Twitch, which I will also link down below. Come and join us, hang out with us on Twitch. We have an amazing community full of a bunch of veteran players that'll be glad to help you and everything like that as well. I'll be linking down some more downloads for Azur Lane if you guys are interested in joining the game and playing the game. Further ado, I wish you guys a great week, and my next video will be in a couple of weeks. Next video will probably be focusing on some other things. I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I'll be thinking about a new gear guide would be one of them, but the issues with the gear guide that we have a lot of new best in slots due to Operation Siren, so I don't want to make a gear guide right now and give players misguided information, which there's a lot of gear that you can pretty much understand that would be best in slot for right now, but I want to wait until we have confirmation with everything from Operation Siren and we can finally give a good directive on that. That video will probably be a lot longer. That's due to the fact of understanding like why the gear is best in slot, why you should be focusing on that, everything like that as well. And I will have that later on in a couple of weeks. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see all you guys again next time. Have a good one. Peace out.